Well, he's been very desperate. That's all he's been talking about since I met him, is that he had a son.
A father finds his son in Denver 8 years after the boy was taken to Mexico without his permission. First at 5:30, the child custody battle that's just beginning. Tonight's Problem Solvers investigation asks whether a father should get custody of a son he hasn't seen in 8 years if the separation wasn't his fault.
Investigative reporter Rob Lowe now with a story you'll see only on Fox 31.
Ricardo Llamas had given up hope he would ever see his son again after the mom fled to Mexico when the child was 6 months old. But in March, Ricardo's new wife found the boy on Facebook and discovered he was back in Denver living with the boy's uncle, mom's brother. Now, dad and uncle are in a bitter custody fight. This picture of a boy in a Broncos shirt with his two half-sisters bore resemblance Yolanda Montez could not shake.
I recognized him. He looks just like him. He looks just like Ricardo.
Ricardo Llamas is her husband, and this is him with his son for the first time in 8 years, though the reunion would only last a weekend.
When I talked to him, I said, you gonna leave me? Are you gonna let go of me? And when I was telling him that I'm not gonna lose you again.
How Ricardo lost his son began when the boy was 6 months old. His mom, Marisol Maldonado, took Ricardo Jr. to her home country of Mexico. Ricardo says he went after his ex-girlfriend, but soon after finding her, she disappeared again with their son. Out of money, Ricardo moved back to Denver, started a new life, but never forgot about his son, sending his ex-girlfriend messages on Facebook that he says were never returned.
Well, he's been very desperate. That's all he's been talking about since I met him, is that he had a son.
And then Yolanda found his son on Facebook. The name matched, and more amazing, she recognized Green Valley Elementary in the picture.
I seen the school, and my kids attended that school 4 or 5 years ago. And I said, that's Green Valley Ranch School. And so I said, he's here. He says, no way.
Turns out Ricardo Jr. has been living in this house with his uncle a few minutes away from his new school, Green Valley Elementary. His mom isn't a legal citizen. She's still in Mexico. But no one in her family told Ricardo his son was back in Denver, living with mom's brother since July.
We went to her house and I knocked, and the grandma opened the door. She was shocked to see me.
Did she know who you were?
Yeah, she knew how I was. And I was like, where's my son at? That's the first thing I said.
With no custody agreement or mom in the country, Ricardo says Denver police told him he could bring his son home. So he did. But a few days later, the uncle filed a legal petition to get Ricardo Jr. back, writing, "With us, he has a stable household, and Ricardo's sisters are living there too. Ricardo has never met his dad until this weekend when he took him." The Problem Solvers paid the uncle, Mario Maldonado, a visit. Why didn't you tell his father that his son was back in America?
I'm not going to answer those questions. Thank you.
A judge granted Mario temporary custody, but ordered supervised visits for Dad, something Mario still hadn't complied with, so we asked again when he left for work. Why would you keep a boy away from his father? He's not talking, but his attorney is.
Is it in the best interest of a child to be picked up by a dad that he doesn't know?
Randy Corporon says the uncle's family is the only family young Ricardo knows.
They've been looking out for the best intentions and the best interests of this child every step of the way.
By playing keep away?
I don't know that they were playing keep away. That's the allegation. We shall see.
It's damaging to a child. I mean, when they get caught up in these battles.
Ron Litvak is a family law attorney connected to neither side, but says a U.S. Supreme Court decision in 2000 should benefit the father.
When you have a fit parent, they're supposed to have a preference in a case that involves anything that involves a contest between a parent and a non-parent.
He was sleeping right here.
Ricardo says he's bought the bed frame, the sheets, even the Broncos poster on the wall, waiting for the day his son comes home for good.
His dad, I don't want to miss out on any more days, time, years of him. I want to be a father. I want to grow up with a father figure. He hasn't had that. I just don't want to let him go no more.
Ricardo Llamas admits serving 3 years in prison for accessory to an attempted murder, but says his past should not be used against him now, and adds his ex-girlfriend's family should not be rewarded for hiding the little boy. The two sides go back before a judge May 5th. We'll be sure to let you know what happens. Rob Lowe, Fox 30.